Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. I'm joined by Garry, Curran, who you all know by now, and if you haven't told him the Sport League of Ireland club, you know what to do. Drop a comment and tell him who to support. But we're here to talk about James McCarthy and how potentially important he could be for Ireland in the playoffs. Whelan, I don't think he's got a club at the moment still. He may be in discussions with clubs, but he's not playing.
Yeah.
Whereas James McCarthy, I believe he's played 5 of the last 6 games starting, and he's completing 90 minutes and he's affecting games. I always said that a fit James McCarthy was our best option in that position. But just how important is he?
So the thing is, like, it is great to do a James McCarthy video where we're not, talking about his fitness at the moment. He's got a run of games. He's been fantastic at the weekend there against Manchester City. He was probably the standout player for Palace. And to be honest, he would probably get into Mick McCarthy's team based on form. But it doesn't always come down to form. We've seen before that some players on form have been banging in goals or putting in performances, stuff like that. And Mick kind of still would go for loyalty. The old reliables and loyalty and stuff like that. So you don't know. For me personally, I don't see why we can't have Glenn and James. We're going to be
in the squad or in the team.
I think in the team. I think we're going to be backs against the wall. We're going to be backs against the wall anyway. We're away. We're not great away, and we're not going to have a lot of the ball. And the way that James McCarthy played, or the way he's been playing over the last couple of weeks, is he's very aggressive, breaks up play, likes to tackle. Once he has the ball, he can pass it off. Glenn does that as well, but I don't think he's as intense. I think when it comes down to it, I think the passion that James McCarthy shows is a little bit more than Glenn in the fact that he throws himself well. He's not afraid for a slight tackle. He's not afraid to get a yellow card.
That's why he gets injured so much.
Oh, absolutely.
As an Everton fan, watching him, and I was so sad the day he left because I loved him and I always wanted to see him do well. And watching him week in, week out, you appreciate the work he does, whereas Ireland fans don't really get to see it, and they're like, what does he do? But they don't see him.
He's huge.
Comes along and breaks up play. But I think if you're going to have him and you have him sitting in front of that back four and he's just doing the Whelan's job, where we haven't seen him obviously under McCarthy because of injuries and so on. I think Mick likes him.
Yeah.
There was some big dilemma made about him not turning up for the squad, which he wasn't even fit, but he didn't go to travel. But I believe his dad had cancer. So he obviously wanted to spend the time with his dad.
Absolutely.
Which you can
he
wasn't going to play. So what? I don't know. I think it was the New Zealand game, and people were going mad saying he doesn't want the shirt, which is nonsense.
That's silly. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt as well. Anytime he has been fit, he's put on the jersey and he's been good. Now you can say that I can think of every single Irish player that have had a couple of bad performances with that jersey on. That's fair enough. But I think a fit and healthy James McCarthy, the way he's playing at the moment, the intensity he's showing in the Premier League, and the game he had on Sunday as well, or on Saturday. On Saturday. He was amazing. He was the one who whipped in the ball from the corner that they ended up scoring from, and then tackled Rodri in the middle of the pitch to pop Zaha through. I mean, that's fantastic. This is against one of the best teams in the world, and he's doing that. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be in the squad, even the team against in March.
Yeah, but he does these types of things all the time when he's fit. He was arguably Everton's best midfielder, especially when Sam Allardyce was there. When he got the injury, Sam Allardyce was manager, right? And then he got the injury, but he was in there playing, and he was in there with Idrissa Gueye at the same time, and he, in my opinion, was doing better than him.
Yeah.
And then he got the horrible injury, unfortunately. I think it was 2 years ago today. He actually got the injury. But funny, here we are talking about him. But like Coleman, he needed time to come back from the injury. And I know Coleman's probably performance in other people's eyes haven't been as good as pre-injury, but with McCarthy, he wasn't getting runs of games even with Everton last year, January, when Silva was manager, and he wasn't getting a run in the team because he was worried about his fitness, and he was doing overloads, and Everton had a horrendous January last season, and McCarthy was there apparently ready and fit, and he never played a game, never kicked the ball. He came on the 4-0 or 4-1 win over Man United. He came on for the last 2 minutes of that, and that was the only real time he played. Then he done the pre-season and went to Crystal Palace, and I totally understood his reasons for leaving. I love James McCarthy, and I've made no what's the word I'm looking for? I've made no secret about it.
Yeah.
That I love James McCarthy, and what he brings to the team is calmness, and as well as that, he has that hard work and that engine. But if you look at any of the big games that we've won, I suppose in the last 5 years, he's been there.
Absolutely. I
Maybe
mean,
not Wales.
Yeah.
But other than that.
But in fairness, Glenn has stepped into that role quite well, you know, and it is...
Yeah, it's not a dig at Glenn Whelan.
No, absolutely not. When you talk about James McCarthy, you do have to talk about Glenn as well, because they do play the very same position, and they will play the very same position for Ireland. Now, obviously, I just said a couple of minutes ago that I'd actually have the two of them in there, and I stand by that. But if it is going to be one or the other, would you go for all reliable Glenn, who has been our best, if not in the top 3 best players for us over the last 18 months, or do you go for an informed player like James McCarthy?
I go for an informed player like James McCarthy. He's European football experience. He's obviously played the Euros as well as Glenn, but Glenn Whelan's not playing right now.
Yeah.
And if Glenn Whelan's not playing right now, he's not going to have match sharpness. He's old enough as it is. I think James McCarthy covers more ground.
Yeah.
And James McCarthy's coming into a good bit of form. I never even knew he took corners. You know that he never took corners at Everton ever. But I just think there's more to McCarthy, and you know if you forget, I think he's only 28.
He's 29, yeah.
What's 29?
You know.
But like
he's in his late 20s.
He's been around for a long time. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's experienced. Playing in a European playoff, it won't faze him.
No.
And especially if he's playing like he is now. As you said, he's playing against Man City, arguably man of the match from a Palace point of view at least.
Yeah.
Why can't he get into the team? Do you know what I mean? Especially if the fact that Whelan's not there. And I think if Whelan's not fit, I think that Josh Cullen, if fit, should be in there ahead of maybe Whelan as well, because he's at a club and he was playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's been back playing yet since, but I would have McCarthy and Cullen right now ahead of him because he hasn't got a club.
Yeah, well, you know, that's totally fair. It's a fair point, and I think, you know, it'd be hard to argue against that altogether, because, you know, Glenn is struggling for a club. But if Glenn can get a run of games in a club, whether it be championship or abroad, I think he needs to get it and do it now, but the thing is, like, if Glenn could not get a club and Glenn could ring up Mick and say, look, I've been on the couch for the last 6 months, and Mick would go, you're in the team. Do you know, he's just been that good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, for us and Mick, and he is reliable, in fairness to him. And I like Glenn Whelan, and it's a great argument to have. Do you know what I mean? For these two players, all reliable Glenn has been, like I said, one of our best players over the last 18 months, and James McCarthy's coming back into form. He's one of the in-form Irish midfielders at the moment. It's great to have that argument. Like, there's been years before where we've been like, we have to drag someone out of retirement quickly so we can actually fill a spot here. So it is fantastic that we're talking about this.
Bobby Keane is a goal scorer.
You know, I still have him back, to be honest. But, like, you know, people say, oh, he hasn't played enough games. He's played 25 games this season, and he's had a couple of niggly injuries. Now, his stats here, I have them here in front of me. His pass accuracy has been 73%. He's picked up 4 yellow cards. He's only played 887 minutes, which is about 39% of Palace's game time so far. Shots per game, 1.33. It's the tackles, 35, interceptions, 10, and recoveries, 63. We know he's not afraid to get the foot in. He's not afraid to get the yellow card when needed. He's very aggressive, and he loves 50-50s. And that's what you need, especially in an away game against Slovakia. Like, it's going to be tough. They're going to be big. They're going to be physical. I think James could be a shoe in there because of the way he's playing at the moment, because of that's what he does on the pitch.
Yeah, but I do think that there's a case of we're going to have to go for it either way, and playing 2 defensive midfielders, I get it, yeah. Okay, you want to be safe and maybe go for the last 20 minutes, but I don't think that this is a game for that. I think we should have McCarthy sitting in front of the back 4, and then you have whoever in front of him. It could even be Malumbi playing in midfield at this point. Who knows? But
the form he's on as well, he has to be a shout
considered
for the squad.
Anyway. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think he'll get in there. I still think because Hendrick's still playing well at Burnley, and I think Mick still really rates Conor Howerton as well, and Alan Brown. So I think they're all way ahead of Jason at the moment. But absolutely no reason why you can't get in there in the future.
Absolutely. If he can stay fit, he's going to be an integral part of Palace's season as well, because obviously they're up and down. And to be honest, looking at the Everton team at the moment, I know you're a fan, but I reckon he's better than the 3 midfielders they have at the moment. He's better than Morgan Schneiderlin, he's better than Davis, and he's better than Delph on form.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
But you could understand why he left. If Ancelotti was there, Ancelotti probably would have used him.
He would have loved him.
But such as football, it's a funny old game, and Marco Silva was the one who was still there and didn't play him, so you can understand why he wanted to get out of there. You know, and they obviously Marco Silva wanted Delph for whatever reason over him.
Yeah.
And they're both quite injury prone.
Just saying injury prone as well there. Like, James, obviously over the last couple of years it's been a struggle, but he went through the toughest part of the season, you know, December, January, playing a run of games, which is great to see. Like, it was he would have missed those games before, you know, so whatever he's doing now, stick to it, because he's been great. He's not afraid to, he doesn't look like he's come back from an injury. You know, he stepped straight back into what he was before, which can be very hard mentally and obviously physically as well. So at the moment, James McCarthy, fair play to him. He's been unbelievable. And just if you want to see how good he's been, all you have to do is watch that City game. The highlights of the City game, even, you'll catch enough of him to see that he should be an integral part of the Irish squad come March.
Well, he was good against, I think it was Arsenal.
He's been good ever since he's come back. Do you know what I mean? He's been good ever since he's come back.
He's a big game player though as well. Like I can't stress it enough. The Euros, the Germany game, the Bosnia game as well. These games he was playing, and he just. I just, these people who come out and say, I don't know what he does, you just maybe should stop watching football.
Yeah.
He does, and I don't want to say all the dirty work, because he can play football too.
I'd say
when he needs to, and we actually keep the ball down way more under McCarthy, and we try to actually keep the ball. Whereas under Martin O'Neill, I can imagine how horrible, especially the last year was as a midfield player playing, because the ball's just going like that, boom, and then their team are getting it, they're playing it around, and we're just trying to play catch, get the ball back off them, and then people are saying, oh, they're terrible on the ball, but they don't have the ball because the defence, we're lumping it all the time. So it'll be interesting to see if he does get in, whether we play, on the ground a bit more, because we did try to do that against Switzerland. I know it didn't really work out, but we did try to play. Denmark, we played quite well as well. Another one that will be interesting as well is that if Seamus Coleman is going to get in there or not, and because him and Coleman have a great partnership as well, so that might play into it too in mixed thinking, and that could be bad news for Matt Doherty as well.
So, well, absolutely. Like it is.
Right now in my head, Matt Doherty would be my first choice right back.
Well, yeah, it is one of those ones where if you played that three at the back and Coleman could kind of slip in there, fair enough. But it is, it's great to be able to talk about this.
Yeah,
before
it's not again really to be experimenting those types of things. But I know what you mean.
It is good to have these headaches, and I'm sure Mick is the same as well, going, who am I going to play in here? But he has a couple, like you said, Josh Cullen as well. He should be in the squad the way he's been playing for Charlton. I know he's picked up that injury recently enough, but there's another good one as well who showed it at under 21s level as well. So it is a good headache to have. Delighted for James McCarthy that he's back. Hopefully he can continue the run of form, and as well as that, just so we mentioned, I hope that Glenn Whelan gets himself a club and can play a run of games before.
Yeah, well, at a decent level as well, because if you're playing League 2 or League 1, and you're hoping
he could play. I think a championship club will come in for.
Well, you could be surprised, because Alan Judge went to Ipswich. I know they got relegated to League 1, and Mick still picks him. So if he's playing regularly, I think he'll still get into the squad regardless. But it'll be interesting to see whether, if Glenn does, if James McCarthy gets a spot in the squad, or does he stick with Josh Cullen, who's been quite loyal to?
Well, you can let us know who gets into that midfield. There's obviously a midfield three there, and there's a couple of people that are gunning for that sixth position, that Glenn Whelan position. Should James McCarthy get in? If you haven't been up to date on James McCarthy, or you want to go back and look, absolutely do, because he's been a joy to watch. He looks like he's really enjoying his football again.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.